Hello friends, this is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin and the market here, general overview. We can see here on CoinGecko, we see that Bitcoin is pretty much flat for the last 24 hours, but still up 2.4% on the 7-day period. And we see that Ethereum is negative 2.2% for the 7-day period and flat for the 24-hour period. And BNB down a little bit. Pretty much seeing mixed results. We do have a few projects like Solana that are overperforming or outperforming the market right now. Solana up 15% for these 7 days, and over the last 24-hour period, not much going on, pretty much flat. Cardano up 5% for the 7-day period, and the rest of these showing a little bit of a loss. We see Tone Coin down 5.9%. For the 7-day period, Tron down 3.6%. We don't really care too much about Tron, do we? Polygon up 6% for the 7-day period, but putting in a 1.2% loss correction for the 24-hour period, basically in the last day. So as we scroll down, we see that there are exceptions. Avalanche moving for the last week for 14.7%. Last 24-hour periods up 4%. And so that's good news. We can see here on the right, it's moving higher. But in general, the market is mixed. A few outperformers, but the market's pretty much mixed and flat. Now, that being said, it's because Bitcoin here is going sideways, showing some sideways chop here. And currently, Bitcoin is at 27,658. And we are seeing that it's trying to hold on to this 27,500 area. The question is, will it? Today is Friday, Friday morning, early Friday morning, and we see a lot of profit taking usually on Fridays. But one thing to look for is this sideways move, this consolidation sideways over the weekend. Usually it starts on Friday. There's some kind of a pullback on Friday, some attempt to sell down, and then it slowly grinds higher, and then on Monday it pops to the upside. Could we see something like that here? Could we see some kind of a sideways um, consolidation into the weekend or through the weekend and then a pop on Monday? I'm not really sure. I'm skeptical. I have my doubts, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. What looks like is a more likely scenario is that we I'm thinking we're going to get a correction down to the 4-hour 200 moving average and retest this diagonal resistance line that we did push above on this breakout, the big breakout here. So we'll have to wait and see if that takes place. Taking a look here at this signal, the S1 signal, it is a short-term sell signal, and that has been followed up by the B1 uh, buy signal, short-term reversal. These are short-term reversals. So this is just showing right now sideways consolidation above that $27,500 level. That is a very important level that I have identified prior, and that is the level of the high, previous high. Usually when price is bullish, it pushes up above it, comes back, retests it, and then goes sideways into another push higher eventually if it's bullish enough. However, right here we see a bearish engulfing candle with a lot of selling pressure here. That line is showing that there's a lot of selling pressure at the top, and so this has created a descending resistance line. This white line here is resistance, and so if this continues, then I do think we will go lower and retest this lower area here, the golden pocket, 200 moving average, etc. Now, when you take a look at these moves higher, there's usually two or three impulses. Here we had an impulse, we went into consolidation, and then off of the 30 moving average, we moved higher into another impulse. After that, we ran into resistance, and then we went into a S1 early reversal signal, and then an S2, which is trend reversal confirmation, came down, put in a higher low. Now we have a lower high here, but we do not have a lower low yet. So I think that well, when I say lower low, I don't mean lower low in relation to this low. I mean lower low in relation to this low here. And coming back and retesting the 200 here would qualify for a lower low. And then if we don't break out, then we're going to go lower and possibly test this 26,100 and possibly test the $25,000 level. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like I said, we need to see what happens this week, or should I say this weekend, and moving into Monday. For now, it looks like the price wants to consolidate sideways here. So we'll have to wait and see if it's successful. We could, like I said, see that type of consolidation through the weekend until Monday, and that would be very similar to what we saw here. And if we do see that, then most definitely we would then be going higher for another push up to 28,000, 29,000, maybe even 30,000. Now you can see here I had this target here. This is the target of the W pattern breakout, and that is putting us at the level of 29,600. We are not at that point. We have not reached that yet. We only reached to about 28,550. Okay, right there. So if we consolidate here, we could be moving higher to retest that and possibly reach that target of that breakout W pattern at 29,600. That being said, the RSI is neutral, 55, slightly bullish, and the EMA trend is bullish because we're still in that green cloud, still hanging on to that green cloud, and the DMA is bearish because we do have a lot of consolidation in this area, and we did have this S1 recent S1 signal of a possible trend reversal. We're in contraction, so I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting much pressure to the upside, much volatility or strength to the upside because we're in contraction. Usually, expansion is where the power is, and we're not in expansion. We're in contraction, and we do not have a reversal yet. So that being said, it's a wait and see attitude until Monday. Let's see what happens. If we do have a sell off and correct down, I do think that we'll probably find uh, temporary part time support at 26,900 or about 27,000. And then from there, it's the next impulse higher by the bulls will tell us whether we're going higher or whether we're going to go lower and test 25,000 or 26,000. That being said, that is Bitcoin. I hope you had a good week, and I hope you even have a better weekend. And taking a look real quick at Twitter, I did share a article that I thought was pretty interesting. It says macro factors to spark next crypto bull market in Q2 2024. This is from Real Vision's Raoul Paul. Now, when you take a look at the article, excuse me, what I like about this article and about the Cointelegraph articles is that you can just listen to it. Just press this triangular play button and listen to it. You don't have to read it. That's kind of the lazy way to get information, right? That being said, I do think that Raoul Paul has a point here. And the reason why he thinks this is basically the article is saying that all of the Bitcoin cycles have corresponded to macro cycles as well. He doesn't think that the halving has so much to do with Bitcoin cycles or success as much as the liquidity from the Fed has to do with it. He says that these Bitcoin cycles are corresponding very closely to the Fed when the Fed is contracting supply or expanding supply, whether the Fed is printing or contracting the supply. And that is his premise and the foundation of his prediction of Q2 2024, the start of the bull run. I I think that is solid analysis. I think that on a macro scale, he's right. Um, and there are others as well that believe this type of analysis. And so one is, I think, Kathy Woods with ARK Invest. She's also an investor and an economist, and she pays attention to all of this data. Um, and she manages billions of dollars. And so I I do think that this is the right perspective, the right view. The reason is because when there's contraction from the Fed and interest rates are rising, that's negative for high risk assets. And Bitcoin trades like a high risk asset. It follows the NASDAQ very closely. Not all the time. There are times that it does break away and do different things, but it, like for example, recently. But I do think that eventually it does catch up. Eventually, the parity does correlate. And I do believe that Bitcoin is, for the most part, long, especially long term, closely correlated to the high risk NASDAQ market. And so, that being said, that would, correspond perfectly with the Fed and they're expanding or contracting the money supply. So if you think this is interesting, then I encourage you to take a look at the article. You can read it for yourself. You can go to my crypt my Twitter X account, and you can see the article here. You can click on that. My link is in the description below. Feel free to take a look at that. And also, if you feel that this information is interesting, helpful, entertaining, and you'd like to hear more, see more of this type of analysis and this type of information, feel free to subscribe. Love to have you as a subscriber. We're a new channel trying to grow, and also please click like on the video. It helps get the video out there and grow the channel, and it helps me. It helps encourage me to continue to make videos. So please click that like. It's free, and much appreciated. We will see you in the next video. Thank you for your time. Take care. Have a great weekend.